In this courtroom, 70 kilometers from New Delhi, is the start of a trial that has set the country ablaze. 10 Muslims are involved. Under heavy security, we see them handcuffed. They have been accused of kidnapping and raping a young Hindu girl in an attempt to forcefully convert her to Islam.
What's the point of taking our pictures? Look at the facts, tell the truth. Don't believe what they tell you. We're the victims of a political conspiracy.
The victim is not at the hearing, but the lawyer representing her family is here. He claims to be a specialist on such cases of religious aggression.
The accusations are regarding the forcible conversion of the girl and gang rape and other formal preparing some documents, forged documents, and this is all.
Is it a case of love jihad?
It is only a matter of time that I can say about it, but it does look so.
Love jihad, literally translated to a war on love. But in reality, the term has come to mean something else entirely. It is a charge brandished by Hindu fundamentalists against Muslims who, according to them, try to seduce young women and convert them to Islam.
For every Hindu they convert, we will take 100 Muslim girls from them.
So what is the reality behind this campaign? Does love jihad really exist? We embark on an investigation to decrypt this political manipulation that has captured the Indian imagination. With more than 5 million followers, the RSS is the most powerful paramilitary faction of the Hindu nationalist movement in India. Their belief that India, or Hindustan, is the land of Hindus. All others do not belong here. In their books, the racket of love jihad run by Muslims has existed for hundreds of years. A year ago, we visited this training camp for young Hindu girls. Here, they are taught lessons on how to be a good Hindu and are also trained in arms.
A gun is divided into 3 parts,
as well as a course on self-defense.
The enemy is right in front of us and we must be prepared, okay? Use your arm for defense, bend your arm and attack.
The enemy that isn't specified, but always implied. The Muslim man, whose underhanded schemes every dutiful Hindu girl should be vigilant of.
Here we are told about love jihad. These days, Hindus have begun to marry Muslims, which is strange, since they are against Hindus, so we are warned.
Recently, this radical discourse has picked up momentum after a series of interreligious incidents, especially with the close ties that extremist Hindu factions share with the current ruling party. We arrive in Uttar Pradesh, a state that is central to this current controversy. With 200 million people, it weighs heavily on the Indian political landscape. In the village of Sarawa, mosques and temples have always been built side by side. Even though Muslims represent more than half the population, the two communities have coexisted for centuries. But in August this year, a young Hindu woman went missing from this house. A few days later, she reappeared, claiming that she had been gang raped by Muslims from the village. Placed under immediate police protection, we were able to meet her father, who read us her testimony.
I was on my way to the chemist when a few Muslims from the village kidnapped me. I was tied up and locked in a room. They forged my signature and changed my name. And I could hear them talking to someone on the phone about selling me.
For him, there is no doubt. His daughter is the victim of an Islamic conspiracy.
They kidnapped her and converted her forcibly.
According to him, his daughter was falsely seduced by a young Muslim man. In addition, 2 imams and other influential members of the Muslim community of Sarawa were also accused and arrested, a total of 10. Such headlines did not take long to spread like wildfire. The local media chose to focus on the relationship between the Hindu girl and the Muslim boy, much to the delight of Hindu nationalists. For them, this is proof that Islam is trying to conquer India, and this case is a true testimony of love jihad. But the Muslims of Sarawa deny these allegations.
This is my home. This is where me and my family used to live together. My mother and my father have been in jail for 4 months now.
The family members live in expectation of a verdict that will acquit them for a trial they consider absurd. Did any of you know the girl?
No.
We still don't know what she looks like.
We had no idea who she was. All that we've learnt about her has been from the news like everyone else.
According to them, those accused have no connection to the victim. They denounce the whole affair as a scheme to malign their community.
Even if justice is brought, it will be too late. Our community has already been disgraced. It's like a stain on the skin that will never go away.
A few weeks later, the story takes an about turn and the family of the accused is proven right.
After the MEERUT victim does a complete U-turn on her love jihad claim.
No more rape, no more love jihad. The young woman we see in these images admits to an affair with a Muslim boy from the village. A disgrace for her parents, who used forced conversion as an excuse to undo the dishonor this brought to her family.
My parents used to beat me a lot. I heard them talk about their plans to kill me.
We went back to meet the parents of the victim. Despite the girl's new testimony, they continued to denounce the entire incident as love jihad. Why did she change her statement?
Our daughter is being duped under the pretense of love.
They brainwashed her.
She's totally under their control.
We're sure this is love jihad.
The verdict of the court for this case has not yet been announced. But out here, over 40 Muslims from the village have come to support those accused from their community.
See here in the newspaper, the girl said clearly that she ran away on her own accord. Why then is the case still not over and the accused not yet released?
For the Hindu fundamentalists propagating love jihad, a final word from authorities doesn't mean much. According to them, there are more than 15 victims each month that go unnoticed. We questioned the police about this, but they had a different story to tell. This inspector is in charge of the same district in Uttar Pradesh. So how many cases of love jihad have you identified?
We have no single complaint of love jihad. Love jihad is not a term used by the police or not a term in the legal parlance of police working. And I don't think there is any logic in calling anything a love jihad, and this terminology is totally new to police.
The myth of love jihad collapses. We approach the RSS members at Sarawak to confront them with this reality, but they pay no heed to any sort of proof and continue to cry conspiracy, this time by political parties. The courtrooms, police and other formal institutions of this country all say the same thing. Love jihad does not exist.
This is because the states where such claims are made are those controlled by either the communists or the opposition party to Congress. If these states had a Hindu government, a government that loves this country, then the families of the victims would not be afraid to testify in a loud voice against the ravages of this jihad.
Their speeches reek of Islamophobia.
Islamic terrorism is expanding everywhere in the name of jihad. Muslims are trying to take control of the world.
How are these politicians able to sow the terror of love jihad without enough evidence? And how, in the name of honor, does a family come to accuse an entire community? We arrive at Delhi University to seek answers. For over 20 years, this historian has studied the relationship between politics, culture and religion in Uttar Pradesh. According to her, love jihad is a phenomenon that threatens traditional values of Indian society.
Family institution in India can be highly patriarchal, where, in the name of love, in the name of honor, actually it can be extremely repressive. And that's what we've seen here. This kind of an issue is much more emotive, and because it cuts across caste boundaries. It enters the fear of the Muslim into each and every Hindu household, and it is family based. It takes family as a unit, this whole love jihad movement. So that is why it was felt that this issue can be much more emotive to unite.
But beyond a political plot, Such cases reveal a situation that is extremely prevalent in Indian society. Despite being legalized 60 years ago, interreligious marriages remain a taboo even today. This couple lives in hiding in New Delhi, more than 1,500 kilometers away from their families. Divya is Muslim, Manoj is Hindu. They fled for the sake of love and were married a few months ago in absolute secrecy.
This is the wedding card. The parents' name, the address and all written over here. You can read this marriage not only ties to individual in an internal relationship, but it also ties to family beliefs, their customs.
So your wedding wasn't the same?
No.
Divya waited 6 years before confessing this forbidden love to her father, and his reaction was as expected, violent.
My dad, he started hitting me. They started torturing me physically, mentally. They took away my cell phone, means my debit card, all my ID proofs and all, everything they took it away. And then they told me that you will not go to office as of now. So I was completely under house arrest. This was for almost 1.5 months.
The family of Divya accused this affair of being another plot. This time, a conspiracy waged by Hindus.
No, that's fine. He told me, see, you don't have sense, you don't know the people around. They just make you, they fool you around just to do the conversion. They want more and more Muslim girls to get converted to Hindu.
With both religious sides constantly suspicious of each other, it comes as a surprise. But according to several Indian NGOs, the number of young people entering into interreligious marriages have steadily increased in the last decade. Could this be one way to reconcile different communities in the largest democracy of the world? Time will tell.